Hype Williams, Harold Hype Williams, is a music video director. And lo and behold, I just actually found out that he directed this in the movie Belly, starring Nas Nasir, and DMX from 1998. From acclaimed director Hype Williams comes the realistic urban drama highlighted by an all-star hip-hop cast, visually dazzling cinematography, and a pulsing rap soundtrack. 1998. Color, 95 minutes. So I'm like, okay. So, there's some movies that come out that get released that are part of a pantheon of a certain style. In this case, it would be urban. Then you can see, like of Wild Style, maybe Crush Groove, Menace to Society, Juice, etc. And this is definitely one of them. This is kind of like how hip hop would be, hip hop slash rap was how it was going to be in the millennium. Like, this is the ushering of the new blood, I guess you could say. And I'm like, okay, so what exactly makes this like saying, hey, this is like not exactly the new wave, but at the same time, the new motifs, I guess you could say. I'm reading the liner notes right here. Hype Williams had made a big impact behind the camera in a very short time. He directed his first music video in 1991, since then gone on to direct over 100 more. One of the industry's most in-demand directors, Williams has won MTV Music Awards for Will Smith's Getting Jiggy With It, Best Rap Video 98, Puff Daddy and the Family's I'll Be Missing You, Best R&B Video 97, and he has been nominated for countless others. The resume includes collaborators with such celebrated performers as R. Kelly, Babyface, Randy, Tupac, and LL Cool J. It is Williams' visual bravado that has propelled him to the top of this field. His use of obscure angles, hypnotic slow-motion shots, and strategic color placement have garnered much praise amongst his peers. In a February 98 article, the source wrote, single-handedly changing the face of rap video, Hype Williams transformed hip-hop music from what was an oral medium to one that was just as visual. Now, Williams hopes to make the same impact in film. For his feature film debut, Belly, Williams turned to many former collaborators and first-time actors. Tiana T. Boz Watkins was the first actor approached. She met Williams in 92 on the set of TLC's first video before the director made his mark. He did all the graffiti in our video, says T. Boz. And he came to me and was like, I'm gonna make a movie and you've got to be in it. 6 years later, here I am in the movie, playing a character with my real birth name. Tiana T. Boz Watkins was not the only musician that Williams would hire. With much of the film's success depending on the casting of Tommy, Williams needed an actor that could make the character believable. Someone capable of bringing energy and dimension to the role. 2,000 actors auditioned for the part before DMX was cast. When I met with DMX, says Williams, he understood the character entirely and displayed real talent, bringing those nuances out. For Nas, who was in the same role of Sincere, who's cast in the role of Sincere, the film was a dream come true. At the same time I started writing raps, I was also writing scripts, and this was a chance to finally put on the screen what we've been saying in hip-hop for a while now. Working with a cast of young actors can be difficult, especially the first-time directors. However, Hype had already directed several of the actors in music videos. He directed Nas twice in Sweet Dreams and If I Rule the World, DMX twice in How It's Going Down, and Get Me a Dog. Terrell Hicks and Silly and Method Man and Wu-Tang Clans. Can it all be so simple? Would the transition to film be difficult? DMX, Tiana T. Boz Watkins, Method Man are all performances. Acting coach Frank Vincent, they have charisma. They're all very talented and they bring an interesting mix to the film. They just weren't used to working off a script, learning lines, or hitting a mark. If you haven't done that before, there are a lot of things you have to know. Films are shot in little pieces and out of sequence, so they had to know how to play the scene where to be emotionally. One look at Billy tells us they picked up rather quickly. Yes, and that's a good amount of liner notes, right in like 3 minutes. Yeah, 100% this movie is saturated in brilliance. There is a blue hue to it. Now, I'm wondering, what does this blue have to do with it? What is the style, the motif of this movie? Well, it's one used to portray, where the blue is one used to portray the icy coldness of the streets. Because there's a lot of drugs that are being transferred are dealt and sold and everything. And we get one of the characters who is thinking that he can chase the ever chase the visible non drug influenced dragon, if you will. And he's hoping that he's going to be able to climb ladder to success and be the next Tony Montana. And then there's the other path that he is taking. So technically, this is kind of like the Juice, if you will. But this movie has its own identity, which I'm just like, yes, this is what I want to see. I want to see the desaturation going on, all the coldness of the streets, and how our characters are feeling, where there is no, I mean, it's like, they have their buddies and everything, but there's a lot of paths and colors and hues that is used so well. It just works. This mother effer knew exactly what he was doing. Like what I noticed in the beginning is that when there's one of the characters that has a massive house, and that both of them want to try and attain it, we get some beautiful paintings where the characters are like right below a lady. You can infer the rest. And also another one of like a side portrait of a face that's like, okay. So obviously we're having the weight that's like for all the walls and everything, but it's done making use of the negative space so well, or the positive space, that both work so dang great that it just stands out. It's almost like you're looking not like any famous painting, any famous artist, but when they're like, hey, we're here to make a bold statement, this is exactly what's going to happen. So it's, and then of course we get some interesting shootouts. We get some blazing going on with the firearms. We actually get a lot of quick edit cuts to represent all the chaos going on. We even get a first person sequence where a person's holding two things that go bang bang bang, to represent like the power that is slowly infecting one of them, who is turning towards the dark side of the Juice, if you will. I would say it was roughly 45 minutes in, where one of the characters, Ox, who was trying to move some cargo from Jamaica and not Colombia. That was interesting. And he's like, yeah, I'm the one that's bringing it in. But then when we get all the sequences with all the firearms and everything, it just works so well. It just feels like there's a lot of chaos going on. Almost like this movie came out like a year or two after GoldenEye for the N64, so I could tell they had some influence on this, I would say. Or PlayStation 1 game. And yeah, obviously, it's the motif. And the other one that's trying to read like the self-improvement, he's saying like, hey, I have a family here and I'm trying to really improve who I am. I even want to go back to Africa and discover who I am. Not so exactly stated where, but he is genuinely trying to become a better person. And in the meanwhile, there's the other character, Tommy, who is actually cheating on his current girlfriend, and it was like saying B word. Like who the F are you? Who the heck are you? Which was interesting, in keeping in with the tone. There's also a person when they're at a barbershop of all places, but suddenly a person comes out with a Shanae hairstyle and an attitude. Shanae is one of the characters that Martin Lawrence portrayed in his sitcom to show off his acting range, which is really dang good. And that show, and just to see this in a movie, just like, got hair down here in the weave. I'm just like, what? I'm just like, it just adds to the movie's motifs. And you know what? Ultimately, I really like this. It did feel like this was the coming out. I'm sorry, not coming out, but the hollering, if you will, saying, hey, here's the new way. Here's the new wave of all the like where hip hop is going in the 2000s, because you obviously have the legendary Nasir Jones and DMX, rest in peace. I don't know too much about TLC or the Wu-Tang Clan, I do need to listen to their stuff, but yeah. Some people may not like us saying, oh, there's not too much of a plot going on. It's like, well, it's a character-driven one where you get the voice over the narration, so some people may not like that, but I'm just like, I knew what was going on because I'm getting better understanding of the conventions, I guess, is what's going on here. But yeah, this DVD right here is a 2003 release, early 2000s release. That even, I mean, this movie is gorgeous, but it's still transferred from VHS, and it doesn't look that great. There's not any subtitles, and I had to turn the dang volume up to freaking 22 just to be able to hear it. So yeah, the layering, yeah, the audio mixing and layering is bad. The visuals, which you could still tell look great, are just washed out, and the desaturation on 4K would obviously look greater, but yeah, despite all that, it is recommended that you watch Belly.